A slice of forever. In the small town of Maplewood, a charming American haven where every corner exuded warmth and community spirit, life moved at its own quiet, comforting pace. On a golden autumn morning, the local bakery, Sweetheart Oven, opened its doors to the smell of freshly baked bread, cinnamon, and hope. For many in Maplewood, this bakery wasn't just a place to pick up a treat, it was the very heart of the community, a venue where friendships blossomed and dreams took shape. Charlotte Evans, a bright-eyed woman in her early 20s, stood behind the counter as she arranged trays of flaky croissants and chocolate eclairs. With her chestnut hair usually tied back in a neat bun and a smile that could light up even the gloomiest day, Charlotte had come to work at Sweetheart Oven not just to earn a living, but also to discover who she really was. Having grown up in Maplewood, she had known the comfort of its traditions and the unwavering support of its people. Yet, deep inside, she yearned for something more, a love that could sweep her off her feet and a friendship that could anchor her in times of storm. Her life took an unexpected turn the day Michael Anderson strolled into the bakery. Michael, a gentle, thoughtful man in his late 20s with a kind smile and eyes that spoke of adventures both near and far, had recently returned to Maplewood after years spent in bustling cities chasing ephemeral dreams. With every visit to Sweetheart Oven, Michael would ask for the day's special pastry, and Charlotte would offer him a warm greeting as if he were an old friend. Over time, their casual exchanges grew into genuine conversations that explored dreams, heartaches, and the simple joys of daily living. "Good morning, Michael," Charlotte said one crisp morning as she carefully placed a delicate fruit tart on a porcelain plate. "I hope today brings you something unexpectedly beautiful." Michael's eyes brightened as he accepted the tart. "Thank you, Charlotte. I believe every day has a hidden magic if we're willing to look for it." Their conversation became a ritual, a dance of shared glances, soft laughter, and moments of silence that said as much as words. As days turned into weeks, Charlotte found herself eagerly anticipating Michael's visits, each one leaving her with a heart slightly fuller than before. Yet beneath the budding affection lay the haunting memory of her first heartbreak, a wound that had once seemed too deep to ever heal. She had loved in her late teens, and that love had dissolved quietly into sorrow, leaving her with gentle scars and a cautious optimism. Maplewood, with its lingering afternoons and star-studded nights, had a way of healing wounds and soothing troubled hearts. On many evenings after the bakery had closed, Charlotte would walk home along the tree-lined streets, lost in memories and dreams. It was during one of these reflective walks that she encountered her friend Emily Parker, who had been a confidant through the best and worst of times. Emily, with her cheerful manner and endless reservoir of empathy, quickly sensed Charlotte's inner turmoil. "Charlotte, you know that love has a way of appearing when you least expect it," Emily assured her one evening as they sat side by side on a park bench. "Sometimes, the pain of the past makes us believe that it will never come again. But look at you, the light in your eyes tells me that something wonderful is waiting just around the corner." Charlotte smiled ruefully, her gaze fixed on the drifting clouds. "I'm afraid that if I let myself believe too much, I might get hurt all over again." Emily reached over and squeezed her hand. "Your heart is resilient, Charlotte. And don't forget, you have friends who will always be here to help repair the cracks. Besides, life has a funny way of bringing people together when the moment is right." Inspired by Emily's enduring support, Charlotte began to explore the depths of her own passions. She started experimenting with new recipes after long shifts at the bakery, often staying late into the night as she tinkered with ingredients and flavors. The scent of vanilla and toasted almonds often filled the air as she crafted innovative confections that soon became local legends. Sweetheart Oven became not only a meeting place for the townsfolk but also a sanctuary where creativity and healing went hand in hand. One rainy afternoon, as lily-white droplets streaked down the window panes of the bakery, Michael joined Charlotte for an impromptu taste test in the back room. The room was filled with the warm glow of a single lamp, and the soft clatter of baking trays created a harmonious rhythm. "I never imagined that a bakery could be a place of such art," Michael said, admiring a tray of mini fruit tarts that Charlotte had meticulously prepared. Charlotte chuckled softly. I think of it as more than just a place to satisfy hunger. Here, I feel like I'm adding a little bit of beauty to the world, one pastry at a time." Michael leaned forward, his eyes sincere. "Beauty, indeed. And sometimes, the sweetest moments in life are the ones we share with others." Over the following months, the bond between Charlotte and Michael deepened. They spent long afternoons discussing dreams and aspirations over cups of hot cocoa, and quiet evenings wandering through the gently lit streets of Maplewood. Their romance, although tender and still emerging, was filled with both the excitement of discovery and the comforting assurance of genuine affection. Yet, as their relationship blossomed, Charlotte found herself battling the echoes of past insecurities. One chilly winter evening, after the bakery had closed and the last of the customers had waved goodbye into the frosty night, Charlotte and Michael sat on the small wooden steps outside Sweetheart Oven. The silvery light of the full moon bathed the entrance in a soft glow, and the crisp air carried whispers of hope. "Charlotte, are you all right?" Michael's voice was gentle, laced with concern. "Sometimes I sense that there's a part of you still holding back, as if you're guarding your heart." Charlotte sighed, her breath visible in the cold air. "I suppose I am, Michael. I've been hurt before, and I worry that opening up might bring those feelings back. I fear that I won't be able to fully trust the beauty of what we have." Michael shifted closer, his expression earnest. "It's understandable to be cautious, but sometimes the risk is what makes love so fulfilling. I'm here, and I promise to walk with you through every doubt and joy. Let's allow our hearts to grow together, one step at a time." The night grew quiet as the two sat in reflective silence, the cadence of their shared vulnerability weaving a tapestry of trust and hope. In that moment, Charlotte felt a solace she had longed for, a reassurance that love, with all its risks, was a necessary part of living a full and vibrant life. As spring finally unfurled its vibrant hues over Maplewood, Sweetheart Oven became a stage for new beginnings. Regular visitors, old friends and new faces alike filled the cozy seating area, exchanging stories and laughter over steaming cups of coffee and slices of cake. The bakery's walls, adorned with photographs of past celebrations and handwritten notes of gratitude, bore silent witness to the countless memories that had been forged there. One radiant morning, Charlotte decided to host a community gathering in the bakery's modest garden. Tables were set under blooming dogwood trees, and the air buzzed with anticipation. Neighbors arranged homemade dishes, and laughter mingled with the soft melodies played on an old acoustic guitar by a local musician. In that enchanted setting, everyone was reminded of how a small town could weave a tapestry of togetherness, where every person's story was a cherished thread in the broader fabric of life. Sitting at a table lined with flickering candles, Charlotte exchanged knowing smiles with Emily, who had become not just a friend but a sister in spirit. "Thank you for helping me see that life is both fragile and resilient," Charlotte confessed as she gently squeezed Emily's hand. Emily laughed warmly. "My dear, it's our shared moments of joy that make even the toughest times worthwhile. We heal through love, friendship, and those little sparks of magic we discover every day." Later that evening, as the community slowly dispersed under a starlit sky, Michael took Charlotte's hand and led her through the garden. Their fingers intertwined as they walked along a winding path, lit only by the soft glow of fairy lights. "Charlotte," Michael began, his tone both hesitant and tender, "I've cherished every moment we've spent together. Your warmth and creativity have made me believe in second chances, not just for dreams, but for love as well. I want to be part of your story, if you'll let me." Overwhelmed by the sincerity in his voice, Charlotte's eyes shimmered with tears of both joy and relief. "Michael, I never thought I could feel this safe and understood again. I want nothing more than to learn how to love without fear, and I want to share in your journey as well." Under the gentle gaze of the night sky and amidst the scent of blossoming flowers, their promise to each other took root. It was a promise built not on grand gestures or fleeting passions, but on quiet moments and everyday kindness, a promise that love, in its purest form, was worth every risk. In the days that followed, the bakery not only continued to serve its delectable treats but also became a crucible where stories converged and personal growth flourished. Charlotte and Michael's relationship was a beacon that encouraged others to be brave, to seek out love even when the future was uncertain. Their journey was filled with small, heartfelt gestures, a shared laugh over a misprinted order, a comforting embrace during unexpected storms, and the mutual determination to overcome each obstacle with grace and understanding. One particularly memorable afternoon, as soft rays of sunlight filtered through the vintage glass windows of Sweetheart Oven, an aged friend named Robert Miller stopped by. A lifelong resident of Maplewood and former baker himself, Robert had seen many seasons pass and carried within him the wisdom of the decades. "Charlotte, dear," Robert said in his gentle drawl while stirring a cup of tea, "watching you and Michael reminds me of the simple truths of life. A good loaf of bread, much like true love, needs time to rise, care to be nurtured, and warmth to flourish. Never rush its process." Charlotte nodded as she listened intently, absorbing his words like precious pearls. "I suppose, Robert, that every ingredient has its own place and time, whether in baking or in our emotions." Robert smiled broadly. "Exactly, my child. And sometimes, it's the imperfections in the dough that make the bread even more delightful." These simple yet profound exchanges gave Charlotte the strength to face her inner doubts. Although she still grappled with the residue of past heartaches, she learned to meet each day with renewed hope and gratitude for the unexpected wonders life had to offer. Michael's unwavering support, the kindness of her friends, and the gentle, healing environment of Maplewood all contributed to an inner transformation that Charlotte could have scarcely imagined. Summer arrived with a burst of vibrant energy. Long, lazy afternoons were filled with laughter, picnics in the park, and evenings that seemed to dance on the edge of eternity. The bakery continued to be the town's beating heart, its aroma a constant reminder that every sunrise held promise and every shared bite of cake was a celebration of life. One sunny day in early July, as the aroma of freshly baked lemon bars and blueberry muffins wafted out onto the bustling main street, Charlotte organized a Taste of Maplewood festival right outside the bakery. The event was a joyous affair that brought together local artisans, musicians, and storytellers. Children ran with painted faces and exuberant energy, couples strolled hand in hand along decorative paths, and elders recounted tales of days gone by with eyes sparkling with nostalgia. Amidst the lively chatter and the harmonious blend of community celebration, Charlotte felt a profound sense of belonging. It was as if every smile, every shared memory, and every delicious pastry was a thread in the intricate tapestry of her life. In that moment, she recognized that the bakery was not merely a business, it was a sanctuary of healing, creativity, and love. During the festivities, Michael approached Charlotte with a playful glint in his eye. "I have a challenge for you," he declared, half teasing, half excited. "How about we create a new signature pastry together, something that represents our journey, our struggles, and our triumphs?" Charlotte's face lit up at the idea. "That sounds like a wonderful idea," she replied. "Let's blend our favorite memories with flavors that speak of hope and transformation." They spent the rest of the day experimenting in the warm, inviting kitchen of the bakery. Michael carefully selected fresh ingredients, a drizzle of honey, a dash of lemon zest, and just the right amount of spice, while Charlotte worked her magic with a graceful precision honed by years of quiet dedication. The process was filled with laughter, heartfelt discussions, and moments of gentle reflection as they mixed ingredients with memories and dreams. When they finally unveiled the creation, a delicate pastry filled with a lemon-infused cream and topped with a honey glaze, they presented it to the community with both pride and humility. The townspeople, ever the supportive family, savored every bite, and soon Michael and Charlotte's dream became a beloved symbol of hope, resilience, and the beauty of newfound love. As the months melted away like sugar in warm milk, the bond between Charlotte and Michael grew stronger. They found solace in the simple act of sharing a quiet moment over a cup of coffee in the early hours of a cool morning, and joy in the harmony of their laughter that filled the once quiet corners of the bakery. Their love, nurtured in the heart of Maplewood, became a beacon of light, an emblem that reminded everyone that even in the face of past sorrows, a courageous heart could indeed find its way to everlasting happiness. It wasn't long before their intimate connection inspired others in the community. Neighbors began sharing their own stories of love lost and found, of dreams deferred and revived, and of the silent battles fought in the quiet twilight of everyday life. The bakery transformed into a confessional of sorts, where sorrows were acknowledged and celebrated alongside small victories. Over cups of steaming coffee and slices of tender cake, the people of Maplewood found comfort in knowing that their lives were intertwined in a shared pursuit of healing and true connection. Even as the seasons cycled through the familiar rhythms of change, the gentle hum of life in Maplewood remained constant. By now, even those who had wandered through life's unpredictable turns came to the bakery for its more than just baked goods. They came for the genuine warmth that radiated from every conversation, every shared laugh, and every smile. Charlotte and Michael's quiet bravery in opening their hearts became a silent lesson for all, that love, in its truest form, was meant to be cherished despite its fragile nature. Late one warm summer evening, when the sky was painted in pastel hues and the air carried the soft fragrance of blooming jasmine, Charlotte took a quiet moment to reflect on her journey. She remembered the days of uncertainty, the caution born of past hurts, and the transformative power of empathy and friendship that had reshaped her. In the soft glow of a single lamp by the bakery window, she whispered a silent thank you to the universe for the gift of reinvention, one baked with forgiveness, perseverance, and the courage to love again. Michael, who had been silently watching her from across the room, stepped forward and wrapped his arms around her. "Every moment we share is a testament to who we are," he murmured softly. "I believe the love we've discovered here isn't just for us, it's for everyone who dares to hope, to dream, and to begin anew." With her head resting gently against his shoulder, Charlotte allowed herself to feel every word. "I was once afraid that my past would overshadow my future," she replied quietly, "but you've shown me that every scar is a reminder that I once believed in something powerful, something that can be rebuilt into a love filled with trust and wonder." Their embrace, tender and full of unspoken promises, echoed the sentiment of every quiet soul who had ever found solace in the midst of life's storms. In that shared warmth lay the unwavering truth that every life is a collection of moments, a mix of bitter and sweet, of loss and redemption that come together to form something uniquely beautiful. As time continued its gentle march forward, the bakery became the backdrop for countless cherished memories. On milder autumn days, when the trees painted the town in shades of amber and gold, the community gathered around bonfires, reciting poems and reminiscing about old times. On snowy winter nights, the soft glow of Sweetheart Oven served as a beacon for those seeking refuge and connection. Michael and Charlotte's own narrative wove seamlessly into the larger story of Maplewood, a narrative where every setback was met with resilience and every tender moment celebrated with gratitude. Their journey, emerging from the simple act of sharing a pastry and a smile, had grown to encompass the very essence of what it meant to heal, to hope, and to embrace love despite the inevitable uncertainties of life. Charlotte eventually began to see that first love in all its beautiful vulnerability had not only made her stronger, but had also taught her that love was a journey of continuous self-discovery. Each shared glance across the counter at the bakery, each heartfelt conversation with an old friend like Emily or a wise word from Robert, was a stepping stone toward understanding the extraordinary strength that resided in her heart. As the years passed, Maplewood's friendly faces and ever-changing seasons recorded the growth of a love that was as timeless as the gentle rolling hills that cradled the town. Michael and Charlotte evolved together, learning that love wasn't defined by grand events alone, but by the quiet moments of understanding, the simple act of being present, and the courage to open one's heart to both joy and pain. The local bakery continued to be their safe haven, where every sunrise promised a fresh start and every shared dessert was a silent ode to the beauty of compassion. In the warm, inviting space of Sweetheart Oven, where every counter and shelf bore witness to celebrations, heartbreaks, and small triumphs, the legacy of their love shone brightly. Regulars would often remark that the aroma of freshly brewed coffee and the taste of a lovingly crafted pastry had the power to mend even the most broken of hearts. And true to that sentiment, Charlotte's journey from a cautious young woman to one who embraced love with open arms became a reminder for all who visited that every heart, no matter how bruised, could find new strength and light. On a late summer afternoon, as the golden light filtered through the lace curtains of the bakery, Charlotte sat quietly at a corner table in Sweetheart Oven, journaling her thoughts. The pages reflected her evolving insights about life, love, and the remarkable power of community. With Michael at her side, reading over her shoulder and offering gentle smiles, she penned words that celebrated both her past and the boundless promise of the future. Her reflections spoke of the sacrifices made, the lessons learned, and the quiet moments of bliss that had filled her soul. In that haven of flower dust and sugary delights, the collective spirit of Maplewood shone through every written word. As twilight draped the town in a soft embrace and the first stars began to twinkle above, Charlotte reflected on how far she had come. What began as a cautious step into the unknown had blossomed into a life replete with genuine connections, soulful understandings, and the tender, transformative power of love. The bakery, with its endless stream of memories, stood as a testament to the truth that when hearts are open, even the quietest among us can embrace a profound destiny. In that serene moment, Charlotte realized that Maplewood was more than just a small town. It was a living tapestry of dreams, hopes, and shared humanity, a place where each person's story contributed to a majestic, ongoing saga of togetherness. And as she looked over to Michael, her heart swelled with gratitude for every twist of fate that had brought them together in a space so modest yet so monumental in its impact. The quiet magic of Sweetheart Oven, with its ever-present blend of aromas and voices, continued to nurture the souls of all who crossed its threshold. Life in Maplewood moved at a graceful pace measured in fleeting glances, gentle touches, and the soft-spoken kind of conversations that mended broken spirits and built bridges of understanding. Charlotte's story, like the many others woven into the fabric of the town, was a testament to the fact that love is not a momentary spark but a persistent flame that can light the darkest of nights. And so, as the gentle night deepened and the town of Maplewood settled into a soothing hush, Charlotte, Michael, and all their dear friends found comfort in the simple truth of their existence, a truth that whispered that every ending is but a new beginning, every sorrow a seed for future joy, and every shared smile a stroke on the grand canvas of life. In the quiet solitude of that reflective night, as Charlotte closed her journal and Michael softly kissed her forehead, she knew that the love they nurtured in every humble act and each heartfelt conversation would endure through every season of change. Life, with its twists and turns, was a journey defined by courage and compassion, a journey best shared with those who believe in the beauty of new beginnings. If you enjoyed the story, subscribe to my channel and check the description for ways to support my work.